Imagine beginning each day with an impenetrable shield, one so strong that no external turmoil, negative opinions, or unforeseen twists of fate could ever rattle your core. What if I told you that such a shield isn't merely a myth, but a tangible and achievable state of being? This isn't about delving into superhero fantasies. It's about exploring the timeless yet incredibly relevant philosophy of Stoicism, a school of thought that has equipped some of history's most brilliant minds to navigate life's storms with unwavering calm and resilience. Stoicism teaches us that while we may not have control over every aspect of the world around us, we possess absolute power over our reactions, emotions, and most significantly, the quality of our thoughts. It's a bold assertion, but bear with me. Today, we're exploring how this ancient philosophy remains not only relevant but vital in our fast-paced, often overwhelming modern lives. Whether you're grappling with stress, feeling lost in the chaos of daily routines, or simply seeking a more profound and serene existence, Stoicism might just be the guiding light you've been searching for. As we embark on this journey together, discovering how Stoicism can transform your life, remember to hit that subscribe button and stay with us until the very end, because every moment of this video is a step closer to becoming a stronger, more resilient version of yourself. Firstly, distance yourself from individuals who spread negativity. This isn't about shying away from challenges or constructive criticism. Both are crucial for growth. But what about the kind of negativity that saps your energy, leaving you questioning your worth, dreams, and even happiness? That's what we need to shield ourselves from, and Stoicism, with its timeless wisdom, illuminates why and how to do just that. The Stoics, those ancient philosophers dedicated to living a virtuous life, had a radical belief: our peace of mind and ability to live well depend significantly on our internal state, not on external circumstances or the people around us. Yet, they also recognized that while we can't control others' actions or words, we can choose our company and how deeply we let their words affect us. Imagine holding a torch that lights your path. Every negative comment, every jab at your self-esteem, is like a gust of wind threatening to extinguish that flame. Why choose to walk through a storm when you could choose a path that keeps your light shining brightly? That's the essence of distancing yourself from negativity. It's not about building walls or harboring resentment. It's about choosing your path wisely. But how do you achieve this? First, it requires awareness. Pay attention to how you feel after spending time with someone. Do you feel uplifted, energized, and inspired? Or do you feel drained, anxious, or diminished? This awareness is your compass. Next, practice the art of saying no. It's a powerful word, one that the Stoics would argue is essential for safeguarding your inner peace. Saying no to one thing means saying yes to another, yes to positivity, yes to growth, and yes to your well-being. And when you do step away from negativity, do so with compassion, for yourself and those you're distancing yourself from. Remember, everyone is on their own journey, battling their own demons. The Stoic approach isn't about judgment. It's about making choices that align with your values and your quest for a peaceful, meaningful life. So why not adopt a Stoic perspective? Start cultivating your social circle like a gardener tends to the garden, nurturing relationships that bring out the best in you and gently pruning those that don't. It's not about cutting people out in anger. It's about consciously choosing who you allow into your inner circle, the sacred space of your life. By embracing this Stoic practice, you're not just avoiding negativity, you're advocating for your happiness and peace of mind. In a world that often feels chaotic, that stand is a powerful act of rebellion, a declaration that you are the architect of your inner world. Let's embrace the wisdom of the Stoics, choosing our companions wisely and creating a life filled with positivity, growth, and serenity. Secondly, set personal boundaries. This is about recognizing where you end and someone else begins. Surprisingly, the Stoics, with their deep insights into human nature, were all about this concept, albeit in their ancient way. Personal boundaries are fundamentally about understanding and respecting your limits. Stoicism, at its core, is about focusing on what's within our control and letting go of what isn't. And guess what? One of the few things we can control is how we allow others to treat us. How do you establish these boundaries? It starts with self-awareness. It's about taking a deep, introspective look at yourself and asking, what truly matters to me? What are my core values? What makes me feel respected, and what makes me feel diminished? This isn't a quick exercise. It's a journey, one that the Stoics embarked on daily through meditation and reflection. Once you have a clear understanding of your values and limits, the next step is communication, expressing your boundaries clearly and assertively. This doesn't mean being aggressive or confrontational. On the contrary, it's about expressing yourself with respect and kindness, both for yourself and for others. It's saying, "This is where I stand, and I respect where you stand, too." Now, here's where it gets challenging, and it's something the Stoics were particularly skilled at navigating: the reactions of others. Not everyone will respond to your boundaries with understanding or respect, and that's okay, because remember, Stoicism teaches us that we can't control others' actions or feelings. We only control our reactions to them. If someone doesn't respect your boundaries, it's not a reflection of your worth, but a sign that perhaps they're not meant to be in your inner circle, at least not until they can honor your needs. Setting personal boundaries is also about saying yes to what enriches your life and no to what depletes it. It's about giving yourself permission to prioritize your well-being and engage in self-care without guilt. This might mean declining an invitation when you're feeling stretched thin or carving out time for solitude amidst a busy life. It's about honoring your needs as deeply and respectfully as you honor the needs of others. The beauty of Stoicism is that it provides a framework for doing just that. It doesn't promise a life free of conflict or discomfort, but offers tools to navigate life's challenges with grace and wisdom. Setting personal boundaries is an integral part of this toolkit, a practice that not only protects your inner peace but also deepens your relationships by fostering mutual respect and understanding. Thirdly, embrace love in a Stoic manner. Stoicism is often misunderstood as suppressing emotions and maintaining a stiff upper lip, but that misconception misses the mark, especially when it comes to love. Stoic philosophy, deeply rooted in understanding nature, human behavior, and the universe, offers a remarkably fresh and enlightening perspective on love, one that's not only about feeling but also about acting, not just about passion but about reason. Let's delve into what it means to embrace love the Stoic way. Firstly, Stoicism teaches us about living in harmony with nature and virtue. When applied to love, this means loving in a way that is honest, kind, and selfless. It's about seeing love not as a means to fulfill our own needs and desires but as an opportunity to positively impact the lives of those we care about. This is where the Stoic view of love diverges from the mainstream narrative. It's not about possession or control, it's about liberation and growth. The Stoics, like Epictetus, emphasize the importance of understanding what is within our control and what is not. In the realm of love, this translates to recognizing that we can't control how someone feels about us, but we can control how we express our love and care for them. It's a call to focus on our actions and intentions, ensuring they align with the virtues of wisdom, courage, justice, and temperance. By doing so, we cultivate a love that is not only about feeling but also about doing, not just about passion but about reason. It's a love that is resilient, compassionate, and deeply rooted in understanding and respect for both ourselves and others. Fosters mutual respect and deepens the connection between individuals. But perhaps one of the most beautiful aspects of embracing love the Stoic way is the emphasis on gratitude. The Stoics were proponents of appreciating the present moment and all the gifts it brings. In the realm of love, this translates to actively practicing gratitude for the people in our lives, for the moments we share with them, and for the growth and joy they bring us. This gratitude not only enhances our own sense of well-being but also radiates outward, enriching our relationships with warmth, appreciation, and kindness. When we discuss embracing love the Stoic way, we're talking about a love that is profound, thoughtful, and rooted in virtue. It's a love that celebrates freedom, fosters personal growth, and cherishes the present moment. It's a love that is resilient enough to endure life's challenges, not because it clings tightly, but because it understands, accepts, and appreciates. That, my friends, is the kind of love that not only endures but also elevates and transforms. Number 4. True strength. The Stoics, those ancient philosophers who sought tranquility and virtue in every aspect of life, had a unique perspective on what true strength entails. For them, it wasn't about physical prowess or military victories. Instead, it was about the resilience of the spirit, the fortitude of the mind, and the courage to face life's adversities with poise and grace. So what does it mean to possess true strength in the Stoic sense? It's about having the inner resolve to remain steadfast in the face of hardship. Imagine standing unyielding amidst a storm, not because you're immune to the wind and rain, but because you've cultivated the ability to withstand them. This kind of strength stems from a profound understanding of what is within our control and what isn't, a fundamental Stoic principle. We may not control the storms, but we can control our reactions to them. True strength also involves self-discipline and self-control. It's easy to let our impulses and emotions govern our actions, but Stoicism teaches us the value of mastering these impulses. It's about making choices based on reason and virtue, rather than on impulse or desire. This doesn't mean suppressing our emotions. Rather, it means not being controlled by them. It's the difference between reacting out of anger and choosing to respond with understanding. Moreover, Stoic strength is intricately linked with the concept of virtue. To the Stoics, being strong meant embodying qualities such as justice, wisdom, courage, and temperance. It's about living these virtues daily, not as abstract ideals, but as practical realities. This kind of strength is about doing what is right, even when it's difficult, even when no one is watching, and even when it requires sacrifice. However, perhaps the most revolutionary aspect of Stoic strength is its accessibility. Unlike physical strength, which depends on numerous factors, the strength of character is something we can all develop, regardless of our circumstances. It's built through daily practice, through each small decision to act with integrity, and through every effort to view challenges as opportunities for growth. And let's not overlook the fact that true strength, according to Stoicism, also encompasses compassion and understanding. It's recognizing that everyone is fighting their own battles, that we're all part of the same human community. This strength is not about standing apart from or above others, but standing with them, offering our support and empathy. True strength, the Stoic way, is a blend of resilience, virtue, self-control, and compassion. It's a strength that enables us to face life's challenges with grace, to remain true to our values in the face of temptation, and to support others with empathy and understanding. This is the kind of strength that not only endures but also elevates, enlightens, and enriches both our lives and the lives of those around us. Number 5. Selective compassion. Exploring the concept of selective compassion might initially seem a bit paradoxical, especially when we view compassion as an inherently positive force. Isn't compassion about extending kindness and understanding to all? Yes and no. The Stoics, with their deep insights into human nature and ethics, invite us to consider a more nuanced approach to compassion, one that is not only sustainable but also profoundly impactful. Selective compassion does not suggest that we should care for some and neglect others. Instead, it proposes an approach to compassion that is guided by wisdom and discernment. It's about acknowledging that our resources, be it time, energy, or emotional capacity, are finite. Just as a gardener knows they cannot tend to every plant in the world but can nurture the ones in their garden to thrive, we too can direct our compassion where it can make the most significant difference. The Stoics teach us about the importance of living in harmony with nature, which includes accepting our limitations. This wisdom beautifully applies to the concept of selective compassion. By accepting that we cannot alleviate every pain or right every wrong in the world, we're not diminishing our capacity for compassion but channeling it more effectively. It's about making peace with the fact that being human means we have limits, and within those limits, we do our best. But how do we practice selective compassion in a way that aligns with Stoic philosophy? First, it requires deep self-awareness. It's crucial to understand our own strengths, capabilities, and boundaries. This self-knowledge allows us to engage in compassionate acts without depleting ourselves. Remember, an empty lantern provides no light. Taking care of ourselves is not just for our benefit but enables us to continue being a source of light and warmth to others. Selective compassion also means prioritizing situations where our actions can have a real impact. This does not mean ignoring the suffering that does not directly involve us, but rather focusing our efforts where we can truly make a difference. It could be helping a family member through a tough time, supporting a local community project, or lending our voice to causes where it can amplify the message. It's about strategic empathy, choosing battles not out of indifference but out of a desire to be genuinely effective. Another aspect of practicing selective compassion, according to Stoic principles, is maintaining emotional equilibrium. Stoicism does not advocate for emotional detachment but for not being overwhelmed by emotions. When we allow our emotions to entirely dictate our actions, we risk burnout, and in the end, we help no one. Selective compassion, then, is also about approaching situations with a calm and steady heart, ensuring that we're acting out of wisdom and not just an immediate emotional response. Furthermore, selective compassion involves an element of letting go. It's accepting that despite our best efforts, we cannot control the outcomes. We can offer our support, our love, and our resources, but we must then step back and let things unfold as they will. This is not a resignation but a recognition of our role as part of a larger tapestry of cause and effect. Number 6. Taking care of ourselves. In a world that never ceases to move, where we're constantly reminded to do more, how can we justify taking a moment to pause, breathe, and care for ourselves? Well, the Stoics, with their timeless wisdom, had some compelling views on this, views that resonate now more than ever. You see, Stoicism, at its core, isn't just about enduring life's hardships with a stiff upper lip. It's about thriving in life by understanding and practicing virtue, wisdom, and yes, self-care. For the Stoics, taking care of oneself isn't self-indulgence, but a necessary part of living a good and ethical life. Why? Because you can't pour from an empty cup. You can't offer wisdom, support, or kindness to others if you're running on empty yourself. Taking care of ourselves in the Stoic sense, means more than just spa days or indulging in our favorite foods, though there's nothing inherently wrong with these. It's about nurturing our body and mind, ensuring we're in a state to perform our duties and contribute positively to the world around us. This includes getting enough rest, eating healthily, exercising, and engaging in activities that enrich our mental and emotional well-being. It's about recognizing when we're stretched too thin and giving ourselves permission to step back and recharge. But here's where it gets intriguing. Stoicism teaches us that self-care also involves challenging ourselves, stepping out of our comfort zones, and confronting our fears. This might sound contradictory, but consider this: growth doesn't come from stagnation. It comes from facing difficulties, learning from them, and emerging stronger. So taking care of ourselves involves a balance between nurturing and challenging, between rest and exertion, between introspection and action. In essence, Stoicism teaches us that taking care of ourselves is not a luxury but a necessity. And in itself, adversity isn't what causes us distress. It's our perception and reaction to it that does. This isn't about downplaying the pain or difficulty of tough situations. Instead, it's about recognizing that within every challenge lies an opportunity for growth, learning, and character development. The Stoics were well acquainted with adversity. Marcus Aurelius wrote much of his work, Meditations, amidst the challenges of leading an empire through war and disease. Yet, he viewed these hardships not as obstacles to his well-being but as opportunities to practice virtue, resilience, and wisdom. This perspective transforms adversity from a roadblock into a pathway for personal growth. But how do we begin to embrace adversity? First, by accepting that challenges are a natural and inevitable part of life. The Stoics teach us to anticipate and accept the inevitability of hardship, not with resignation but with a proactive mindset. This acceptance frees us from the shock and dismay that often accompany difficult situations, allowing us to focus on navigating through them with grace and courage. Next, practicing gratitude is crucial. It might seem counterintuitive to feel grateful for adversity, but Stoicism encourages us to find value in every experience. By focusing on what we can learn from difficult situations, how we can grow, and the strengths we didn't know we had, we start to see adversity as a teacher, albeit a strict one, guiding us towards becoming more resilient, empathetic, and wise individuals. Furthermore, Stoicism emphasizes the importance of focusing on what's within our control in any adverse situation. While we might not have control over external circumstances, we always have control over our attitudes and actions. By concentrating on our responses, making choices aligned with our values, and taking purposeful action, we empower ourselves. This empowerment turns adversity into a catalyst for personal empowerment and self-mastery. Embracing adversity also involves practicing compassion towards ourselves and others. Being hard on ourselves during tough times only adds to our distress. The Stoics advocated for self-compassion, understanding that making mistakes and feeling overwhelmed is part of the human experience. Likewise, facing adversity often enhances our capacity for empathy, as our struggles can make us more attuned to the suffering of others, fostering a deeper sense of connection and mutual support. Finally, Stoicism teaches us the art of reframing our narrative about adversity. Instead of viewing difficult situations as solely negative, we can start to view them as chapters in our story of overcoming and growth. This narrative shift doesn't change the facts of our circumstances, but it can change our experience of them, infusing our journey with meaning and a sense of purpose. Number 9. Living in the present. Everywhere you look, there's a new book, a meditation app, or a lifestyle guru telling you to be in the moment. But before we dismiss it as just another wellness trend, let's explore what living in the present truly means through the lens of Stoicism. Because those ancient Stoics discovered something profound, something that can transform the way we experience life. Stoicism teaches us the art of focusing on what's happening right now, in this moment. Why? Because the present is all we truly have control over. The past is gone, untouchable and unchangeable. The future, it's not guaranteed and largely out of our hands. This might sound a bit daunting at first, but it's actually incredibly liberating when you really think about it. It means that the anxiety we feel over past mistakes or the worry we carry for future uncertainties can be set aside. Instead, we can direct our energy and attention to where we can make a real impact, the here and now. Marcus Aurelius, one of the most famous Stoic philosophers and a Roman emperor, wrote extensively about the importance of anchoring oneself in the present moment. He urged us to not let the past trouble us, nor let the future disturb us, but to focus on making the best of the present. This doesn't mean we become passive or indifferent to the future. Rather, it's about engaging fully with the present task, conversation, or moment of rest, understanding that this is where life happens. It's about giving our all to the now, whether that's in work, in our relationships, or in our pursuit of personal growth. But how do we practically live in the present, especially in a world that's constantly pulling our attention towards what's next or what's been? It starts with awareness, becoming mindful of when our thoughts drift to past regrets or future anxieties is the first step. This awareness isn't about self-judgment but gentle observation. Each time we catch ourselves looking backward or forward, we have an opportunity to gently guide our focus back to the present. Living in the present also involves appreciating the simple joys and experiences of daily life. It's about finding beauty in the mundane, whether that's savoring your morning coffee, feeling the sun on your face, or enjoying a heartfelt conversation. The Stoics remind us that happiness doesn't come from external circumstances but from our internal state, from appreciating what we have here and now. Moreover, Stoicism teaches us to embrace whatever the present moment brings with equanimity. Whether we're facing challenges or enjoying success, the goal is to meet each moment with a balanced heart and mind. This equanimity isn't about suppressing emotions but about not letting them overpower us. It's about responding to life's ups and downs with a sense of calm and acceptance, knowing that everything is temporary and that we have the strength to face what comes. Living in the present is about acting with purpose and integrity. When we focus on the now, we are more likely to act in ways that align with our values and goals. Each present moment is an opportunity to be the person we aspire to be and to make choices that reflect our highest selves. This is perhaps the most profound aspect of living in the present. It's where we create our lives, one moment at a time. Living in the present, according to Stoicism, isn't just a feel-good mantra. It's a practical and powerful way to live life more fully, with less anxiety and more joy. It's about focusing our energy where it can truly make a difference, finding beauty in the ordinary, and meeting each moment with grace and courage. In doing so, we don't just experience life more deeply, we also pave the way for a future shaped by mindful, virtuous action. And that is a life worth living. Number 10. Flexibility and adaptability. The Stoics understood a fundamental truth: the only constant in life is change. Whether it's a sudden storm or the changing seasons, change surrounds us. However, it's not the change itself that challenges us but our resistance to it. Stoicism teaches us to embrace change, not reluctantly, but with open arms. Why? Because in the fluid dance of life, flexibility and adaptability are our most reliable partners. Consider the Stoic metaphor of the dog tethered to a moving cart. If the dog resists and pulls against the cart, it suffers. But if it trots along, it moves in harmony with its constraint, transforming a potential struggle into a manageable journey. This metaphor beautifully illustrates the Stoic principle of following nature's course, recognizing the direction of events, and adapting ourselves to flow with them rather than against them. But how do we cultivate flexibility and adaptability in our lives? It begins with acknowledging our limited control. Stoicism draws a clear line between what is within our control, our thoughts, beliefs, and actions, and what isn't, namely the external world and other people's actions. Embracing this distinction empowers us to focus our energy on our responses, cultivating a mindset ready to adapt to whatever comes our way. Practicing flexibility and adaptability also involves preparing for various outcomes. The Stoics advocated for premeditatio malorum, the premeditation of evils, as a practice of visualizing potential challenges and setbacks. This might sound pessimistic at first glance, but its purpose is to fortify the mind, making us less vulnerable to shock and dismay when faced with adversity. By contemplating possible difficulties, we can mentally rehearse our responses, making us more adept at navigating life's unpredictable currents. Moreover, flexibility in the Stoic sense is about letting go of rigid expectations. It's about understanding that while we can set goals and strive towards them, the outcomes are not always for us to determine. This doesn't mean we abandon our aspirations, but that we approach them with a mindset open to adaptation and growth. It's recognizing that sometimes the detours in our journey can lead to unforeseen opportunities and insights.
Thank you for listening, everyone. Please hit the subscribe button and turn on notifications to receive great videos every day from the Quotes of Stoic channel. Goodbye and see you again.